Good afternoon. I would like to welcome our board chair, Ms. Celia Powell, class of '85, invited speaker 2015 alumna Reem Bashara, and most importantly, our 2020-2021 prize winners. This afternoon, we recognize and celebrate the hard work, effort, and achievement of the students who were in Year 7 to IB1 last year. 83 students, 50 in the middle school and 33 in the senior school, are being celebrated tonight. In Years 9 to 11, 22 for Principal's Honours, 29 for Honours, and 143 for Responsibility for Learning, 103 in the middle school and 40 in the senior school. This is our chance to say well done and congratulations. Every day at BHS, we work hard to live our vision and our mission and provide a dynamic and inclusive learning environment that fosters intellectual curiosity, community consciousness, courage, and resilient independence. We take great pride in empowering each of our students to develop their passions and talents, and we work hard to provide an environment where our students feel safe to take center stage, define their own path, overcome obstacles, and celebrate their achievements. And this is why we are here, to celebrate our students' achievements and recognize their hard work. Students, the 2020-2021 school year was anything but typical. The last 18 months have tested us all in so many ways, yet each of you kept your goals in sight and worked hard. I want to share a few highlights with you. In the academic arena, we had excellent IB and IGCSE results. 100% of the IB2 students who completed the full IB diploma program received the IB diploma. This is well above the worldwide pass rate of 88%. The average BHS diploma point score was 35 points, with the worldwide average being 33 points. 2 students sat the IB courses and both were successful. Our top IB diploma scorer, Mia Oleksak, achieved a perfect score of 45 points. Mia is currently taking a gap year at the Cordon Bleu in Paris and is planning to either attend the University of Toronto or Imperial College of London. Close behind with 42 points was Ella Ruja, who will also be taking a gap year before she attends the University of Exeter in the UK. Hayley O'Donnell achieved 41 points, and she is currently studying economics and physics at Hamilton College, USA. 2 students achieved 40 points each, Genevieve Lau, who is studying computer science at McGill University, and Leonie Morton-Richardson, who's studying commerce and accounting at Dalhousie University. All of the IB students who wish to attend university or college are mostly enrolled in tertiary institutions of their choice in the USA, Canada, and the UK. 24 of our alumni, 6 of them from our current 2021 graduates, received close to $800,000 in scholarships. These past few weeks, we've highlighted numerous alumni for their successes, and this is one of the benefits of a BHS education. No matter where our students look, they see BHS role models in every industry. 99.6% of all of our GCSE grades received by BHS students this year were A star to C, levels 9 to 4, with 49% of all the results at A star or levels 9 and 8. 72% of the results were A star or A grades, levels 9 to 7. In the UK, the A star and A and equivalent in girls-only schools is 33.4%. I am proud of all of our IGCSE students, as many of them prove their ability to surpass our expectations. I would like to specifically congratulate and highlight the top 5 students. The students that received all level 9s and A star, and I'd like to point out that a level 9 is above an A star. Millie Lewis, 5 level 9s and 4 A stars. Emily Davis, 4 level 9s and 5 A stars. All A star and equivalent levels 9 and 8. Laura Hupman, 4 level 9s, 4 A stars and 1 level 8. Ava Gibson, 3 level 9s, 5 A stars and 1 level 8. And Anna Marcotte, 2 level 9s, 5 A stars and 2 level 8s. In the debate arena, BHS middle school and secondary teams performed well at the 2021 local spring competition. BHS had a clean sweep victory with the A team of Varshini Srinivasan, Anna Camille Haziza, and Helena Thomas. BHS also achieved the runner-up placement with the B team of Nadia Gibson, Robin Selly, and Kalia Walker. Our senior A team of Grace McFadden, Elodie Manning, and Miley Deline were overall runners-up in their age division. In the spring independent school public speaking competition, our secondary students did an outstanding job in the after-dinner persuasive and interpretive reading categories. Overall winners were Haley O'Donnell and Christina DeCock, who placed second and third respectively. The middle school students also performed exceptionally well in the after-dinner, dramatic interpretation, and interpretive reading categories. The overall middle school winner was Vikashini Raghunathan, who placed first, and Sophia Nunez, who placed second. In the business arena, BHS Year 9 and Year 8 students took first and second place in the 2020 KPMG Investment Challenge. They were the youngest teams ever to place, never mind win. Additionally, in the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation Rocket Pitch Challenge, our Year 9 team of Lorraine DeCock and Moya van Neerkerk won the Youth Pitch Challenge with their business, Volunteer Bermuda. In the visual arts world, BHS achieved first place in both the secondary category and the junior category in the Mirrors Annual Art Competition. Several secondary and IB students were successful in the Harvey Cooper Awards. Arima Turner won the Middle School People's Choice Award, while the judges' first prize was won by Layla Williams, with the judges' second prize going to Manaya Wainwright. Several awards were received by BHS students in the Dr. Reg Grundy photography competition, and the overall best in the show was won by Layla Kurt. In the music arena, 28 secondary students took the Associated Board Royal School of Music theory exams at grade 1, 2, 3, and 5. The results were 4 passes, 10 merits, and 14 distinction. Last year, secondary students performed in small groups or individually. The IB1 and IB2 drama students successfully performed coffee houses for staff and students. IB students Thomasina Pierman and Saleha Stange ran Shakespeare's monologues to be performed during this academic year, while IB1 students created the soundtrack of our lives, which was performed by secondary and IB students and directed and musically produced and videoed by Mrs. Thorpe and Mr. Pittman. In the sports arena, due to COVID-19 protocols, inter-school sports was not allowed. Nevertheless, our athletes excelled in their individual performances, and fortunately, we were able to hold a BHS Sports Day for Year 10 and Year 11 students. Athletic prowess and excellent sportsmanship were displayed by every athlete in front of their peers and teachers. The Duke of Edinburgh is alive and well. 28 students achieved their Bronze Award, and 6 received their Silver Award under the tutelage of their coaches, Mr. Suter and Ms. Smith. BHS students were successful in essay competitions. In the 2021 Dr. Stanley Rattery Memorial Christmas Short Story Competition, Elise Dye placed first and Kaylin Burrows second, while Grace McFadden placed second in the 18 and under category. Round Square face-to-face conferences, service projects, and exchanges were suspended for the 2020-21 year. However, many virtual network events, global discussion groups, and initiatives were held between the 200-plus global Round Square schools worldwide. Students, when I read through the list of prize winners and read the teachers' comments about you, a picture develops of a school community filled with students who are passionate about their learning, about young women who are confident, dedicated, focused, curious, determined, enthusiastic, positive, and committed to their learning. These are the qualities which make you all great learners, and they are the qualities which will serve you well long after you leave BHS. Students, you are part of a learning community which inspires, and we are so proud to be able to celebrate you for your hard work and success in academics, athletics, and the arts today. I would like to share an acrostic which spells out the word success. And I imagine you have embraced many of these actions which have resulted in you receiving an award today. S, see your goal. U, understand the obstacles. C, create a positive mental picture. C, clear your mind of self-doubt. E, embrace the challenge. S, stay on track. And S, show the world that you can do it. Success. Congratulations, students. As your head of school, I am so very proud of all of you. Welcome, everyone, to this memorable occasion.
Our prize-giving speaker this year is Reem Bouchara. Reem attended BHS from 2011 to 2015, where she held various leadership positions, including the role of head girl in her final year. Reem then went on to study at McGill University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Economics with a minor in Political Science, before returning home to Bermuda, where she began her career in insurance. In 2020, Reem became the youngest underwriter at Chubb Bermuda, and now currently serves as a senior underwriter in Chubb Bermuda's Professional Lines Department, where she specializes in financial institutions and commercial directors and officers' liability insurance. In Reem's free time, she serves as the chair of the Bermuda Foundation for Insurance Studies Alumni Committee, as well as being a member of the We Speak Bermuda's Teen Committee, where she focuses on empowering girls to project their voices and improve their public speaking skills. We look forward to learning from her experience and expertise that she will share with us today.
I'm so honored to be able to speak at this year's prize giving, and whilst I would have loved to see all of your smiling faces in person, luckily I have a pretty good imagination. So I know you've probably been congratulated by some of your teachers, your friends, and family, but I'd like to take the next couple of minutes to just congratulate you all one more time and to share a little bit of advice that I hope you can carry with you throughout this term and beyond. So first, and most importantly, congratulations. You've all achieved something great, something that you may have been working towards for a while, or something that you didn't even realize was an achievement at all. But no matter which bucket you fall into, you deserve to be celebrated. What I love about prize giving is that it's not about highlighting only one type of student. BHS recognizes that everybody's different and that we all have a set of skills that are unique to us, but these skills are all equally important and deserve to be acknowledged. Whether it's your talent in a specific sport or subject, whether it's your ongoing commitment to your community or to the BHS student body as a leader, or even your ability to be a conscious and reflective student who empowers themselves through taking control of their learning. This is about highlighting you for what makes you special in every form. I remember prize giving and my time at BHS like it was literally yesterday. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's the truth. These past 6 years have flown by, and I'm so grateful to be able to share a little bit about myself with all of you and to offer a few pieces of advice that you can hopefully carry with you as you continue on in your journey as a student and as you make your transition into adulthood. To give you a little bit of background on myself, I started at BHS in 2011, which I cannot believe was 10 years ago. I started as a year 10 student, and more than anything, I was afraid that I wouldn't fit in. Almost everyone I knew who went to BHS had gone since they were in primary school, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to make up for so much lost time. But as I mentioned earlier, I quickly realized that there wasn't one type of BHS student. In fact, I kind of think of BHS now like one of those big 1,000-piece puzzles where your space is already there. It might take you a little bit of time to find it, some trial and error, but rest assured there is a spot for you. And the best part of it is that the puzzle isn't complete without you in it. I found my spot at BHS in leadership, and I was so excited to find myself in an environment where I could thrive and I could build my confidence, without which I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. So, whilst I feel like I just graduated from high school, I want to be able to share a couple of things with you that I've learned in my short time since graduating from BHS. When Mrs. Parker asked if I'd like to give the address, I was obviously honored, but if I'm being honest, I was a bit taken aback. What do I have to offer this group of brilliant and self-aware and self-reflective students? What qualifies me to share any sort of advice? This is a thought process that I find myself constantly battling, especially as I get older and advance in my career and find that more and more people are looking to me for guidance, whilst I still feel like I have so much to learn myself. But just like all of you, I'm here for a reason. I worked hard and I accomplished a lot. Some things I always knew I would, and some things I honestly never thought I could. But recognizing the value that you add, whether that's to a group of your peers in a school setting, to your friends, or even at a job, can be really difficult. But it's so important to take the time to recognize your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem, and to say, you know what? I'm actually really proud of this. You're here because you've excelled in something unique to you, and those accomplishments deserve to be celebrated. But what's even more than us celebrating, important than us celebrating you, is you celebrating yourself. Don't get me wrong, I loved getting a good grade or receiving a prize just as much as the next person. But after you've completed your formal schooling, it can be hard to know where you stand without those systems of assessment. Building a habit of being proud of yourself and rewarding yourself will help you start defining your accomplishments and success on your own terms, award-winning or not. So pat yourself on the back whenever you can, and try to remember that whilst humility is important, don't let it stop you from recognizing your value. The second thing I want to leave you with is about perspective. You are going to learn so much at this school and through any further education you choose to pursue. But we all have our own views and understandings of knowledge. Our personal experiences act as a filter that mean we don't all see the same things in the same light. Remembering that there's always more than one way to view and understand a situation or a piece of information will help you to be a better student, friend, and leader. The reason I wanted to share this piece of advice is because you, as a group, are a perfect representation of people who are likely to all have different ideas about very similar topics. Like I mentioned before, you all have different interests and skill sets, and those things are likely to affect your perspectives. Take the time to have a conversation with someone who seems completely different from you. Someone who might love a subject that you're not too fond of, or someone who has a different way of learning than you. And you may be surprised about what you can discover. Very few things in life are black and white. And when we take the time to hear and acknowledge other people's perspectives, we open ourselves up to a world of understanding that can turn your knowledge into power. Basically, knowledge will open your eyes, but perspective expands your vision. The last thing I want to touch on is something that I think is really important to note, maybe now more than ever. We go to school to figure out what makes us tick, to find what we're good at, and to see whether we can turn a skill into a passion, into a career. The reason I want to share this point today is that it's never been more realistic than it is now to create your own path. The pandemic has changed education and the workforce forever. Social media has accelerated connectivity and information sharing in ways that would have been hard to imagine even 10 years ago. And you have an amazing opportunity to take advantage of all of this change. There is more flexibility than ever to be whoever you want to be innovative and creative with your future. If your dream job or university program or learning environment doesn't exist, you can create it. You don't have to try to fit your skills and passions into a box that already exists for the sake of practicality. The boundaries of that box are expanding every day, and you can expand them even further if you want. The sky is really the limit. So take these next few years to figure out what you love and try your best not to compromise. It may sound corny, but if you can dream it, you can achieve it. I truly never thought I'd be the one to give this speech, and I definitely never thought I'd be giving it virtually. But one thing I've learned over the past 18 months as we've navigated and re-navigated how to manage our lives throughout this weird and scary period is that change can teach you a lot. You've all somehow managed to thrive in a very challenging environment, and that's a huge feat. You've adapted and been resilient, and even though I'm sure there were days you may have wanted to give up, and even some days where you might have given up just for a moment, you found a way to push through and to do something great. I'm so proud of all of you, and I truly hope you're all proud of yourselves too. Thank you for lending me your ears, and I wish you all the best as you continue to strive towards becoming the best you that you can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bouchard, for speaking to us and offering your wisdom and experience here today. The goal to empower young women and their voices is a noble one, and we here at BHS hope that we can follow in your example, for you're not only an inspiration to young girls hoping to enter financial and STEM fields, but all of us soon to enter the working world. Thank you again for speaking to us, and we wish you luck in all of your future endeavors.
Good afternoon. It's my very great pleasure to announce the Year 7 awards. Anaya Robinson, Responsibility for Learning. Anna Doyle, Responsibility for Learning. Arabella, Newport, Derbyshire, Responsibility for Learning. Ashling De Silva, Responsibility for Learning. Aulani Carter, Responsibility for Learning. Annika Desoris, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Humanities. Brianna Jones, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for Humanities. Christina Abend, Responsibility for Learning. Farah Craigs, the Responsibility for Learning. Freya Desoris, Responsibility for Learning. Harley Besden, Responsibility for Learning. Isabella Goodall, Responsibility for Learning, the Commitment Prize for Computer Science and Humanities and the Attainment Prize for Music and Physical Education. Gemma Konieski, Responsibility for Learning. Joy Ella Yami, Responsibility for Learning and Attainment Prizes for Maths and Computer Science. Callie Robinson, Responsibility for Learning. Kateri Zul, Responsibility for Learning. Catherine Wedden, Responsibility for Learning. Kendall Burrows, Responsibility for Learning. Kyla White, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Drama. Layla Trott, Responsibility for Learning. Lauren Post, Responsibility for Learning. Lila Riker, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for English. Lilia Matcham, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for French. Lillian Farah, Responsibility for Learning. Lizzie Redding, Responsibility for Learning. London Wilson, Responsibility for Learning. Maya Shrum, Responsibility for Learning. Maya Chaim, responsibility for learning. Olivia Gazard, responsibility for learning and the Commitment Prize for mathematics. Olivia Uni, responsibility for learning, commitment prizes for music, Spanish, and science. Padgett Ressa, responsibility for learning. Pedro Day, responsibility for learning. Ruby Langhorne, responsibility for learning and the Commitment Prize for art. Ryan Wright, responsibility for learning and the Attainment Prize for physical education. Sarah Haziza, responsibility for learning. Saskia Luthi, responsibility for learning. Sienna Sperling, responsibility for learning, the Commitment Prize for physical education, the Attainment Prize for art, humanities, and science. Summers Astronic, responsibility for learning and the Attainment Prize for Spanish. Now the student who gained the highest level of overall attainment in Year 7 was, and if you could come up please, Sienna Sperling. And Anaya Robinson, please. Anaya's looking very surprised. Anaya, you have been awarded the Jane Davis Award for Citizenship, and this is what was written about you. Anaya has integrity, is involved in a variety of school activities, and has demonstrated that she's a very positive, contributing member of the BHS community. Anaya could be described as a ray of sunshine in that she is unfailingly positive and kind. She is a conscientious student, always tries her hardest, but she's been given this award as she is as delighted for others' successes as she is her own. She represents the true spirit of our school. So well done, Anaya. And that concludes the Year 7 prizes.
Alyssa Minushkin, responsibility for learning and Attainment Prize for art. Annabelle Davidson, responsibility for learning. Annika Henderson, responsibility for learning. Arima Turner, responsibility for learning. Ava Pedro. Ava Pedro is not here, but Ava Pedro gets responsibility for learning. Chelsea DuPont, Commitment Prize for Art. Darren Fox, Responsibility for Learning. Amelia Dunkerley, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Physical Education. Georgia Belanti, Responsibility for Learning, the Commitment Prize for English and the Attainment Prize for Spanish. Giselle Velado, Responsibility for Learning. Harmony Seymour, Responsibility for Learning. Isabel Welch, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prizes for Art, Computer Science, Drama, and Geography, and the Attainment Prizes in History, Latin, Maths, and Science. Jasmine Granger, Responsibility for Learning, the Commitment Prize for Latin, Attainment Prizes in French and Geography. And Jasmine also receives today her grade for 3 flute exam certificate. Jasmine Maurice, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for French. Georgia White, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Physical Education. Kalia Walker, the Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Music. Lara Burnett, Responsibility for Learning, the Attainment Prize for Drama, and the Commitment Prize for Maths. Liana Young, Responsibility for Learning. Liv Sharat, Responsibility for Learning. Myla Graham, Responsibility for Learning. Nadia Gibson, Responsibility for Learning. Quinn Gunther, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for English. Raina Abbott, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for Physical Education. Robin Selly, Responsibility for Learning and the Attainment Prize for Music. Sage Benavides, Responsibility for Learning. Sarah Davis, Responsibility for Learning. Scarlett Smale, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Science. Sky Lewis, Commitment Prize for Spanish. Teresa Briere, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for English Literature. Sorry, I called them out of order. Tessa Kearns, Responsibility for Learning, the Commitment Prize for History, and the Attainment Prize for Computer Science. And Isabel Welch for having the overall highest level of attainment in Year 8.
I am pleased to announce the awards for last year's Year 9s. First up is Addie Thorpe, Responsibility for Learning. And Camille Hasiza, Responsibility for Learning and Principal Honors. Caitlin Niemeyer, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Caitlin Gladwin, Responsibility for Learning and the Commitment Prize for Art. Cece Robinson, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, and the Attainment Prize for Physical Education. Celia Shaper, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Charlotte Lesage, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, and the Commitment Prize for Science. Charlotte Millington, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, the Commitment Prize for Geography, and the Attainment Prize for Computer Science. Clarice Mahabir, Responsibility for Learning. Elena Pierman, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, and the Attainment Prize for Geography. Elizabeth Wire, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, and the Lehman Plaque for Music Attainment. Ella Field Lament, Responsibility for Learning. Ella Uni, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, the Commitment Prize for English Language, and the Attainment Prize for French and Latin. Elise Dye, Honors. Fenella Whiteman, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, Commitment Prize for Latin and History, and BHS's nomination for the Denton Hurd Award. Grace Amaradasa, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Hannah Taylor, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, and the Attainment Prizes for Drama, History, and Spanish. Helena Thomas, Responsibility for Learning. Jeriel Fernandez, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, and the Commitment Prize for Spanish and Physical Education. Kaylin Burrows, the Commitment Prize for Music. Kamali Tucker, Responsibility for Learning. Kamai Bean, the Commitment Prize for Maths. Maddie Doyle, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Mia Ortola Madden, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Moya Van Niekerk, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors. The Commitment Prize is for French and Enterprise, and the Attainment Prize is for Art and English. Natalia Tafour, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, the Commitment Prize for Drama, and the Attainment Prize for Science. Robin Kelly, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, and the Commitment Prize for Physical Education. Samantha Rance, Honors. Sarah Marshall, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, and the Commitment Prize for Computer Science. Sienna Marshall, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Sofiyumi Ruja, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. Varshini Srinivasan, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, and the Attainment Prize for Enterprise. Vikashini Raghunathan, Responsibility for Learning and Honors. And on to some special prizes. The student who gained the highest level of overall attainment in Year 9 last year was Hannah Taylor. Congratulations, Hannah. Addie Thorpe is awarded the Gordon Cup for Drama for going above and beyond the expectations of both in and outside of the classroom. In class, Addie is an enthusiastic member of the class, participating well with her peers and showing an eagerness to develop a range of different techniques. Outside of the classroom, Addie was a creative member of this year's school production of Soundtrack of Our Lives. Congratulations, Addie. Moya Van Niekerk and Sofiyumi Ruja jointly received the Susie Edquist Martin Memorial Award for Humanity. This award is given to a student who shows compassion and kindness to humankind and demonstrates integrity. A little paragraph about each. Moya has a strong sense of right and wrong and is confident in not only doing the right thing, but also encouraging others to do the same. Her character is beyond reproach. Unfailingly polite, mature, and kind, Moya embodies the qualities to which every BHS student should aspire. And Sofiyumi. A passionate young activist, Sofiyumi is strong in her convictions and stands up for what she believes is right. She is also a fair and kind person who is always willing to assist her peers with difficult situations, thus creating a more positive atmosphere in the classroom. Sofiyumi is a loyal and empathetic friend. Congratulations, girls. Charlotte Millington is presented with the Whitney Green Plate for the application she shows for her learning. Charlotte is a student who embraces school life to the fullest, and her consistent, focused approach toward her classes has yielded commendable results. More importantly, Charlotte has embodied our learning ethos and shown responsibility for her own learning. Our final award for this section goes to Ella Uni. Ella will receive the BHS Alumni Association Noble Award. This award is given to a student who exemplifies our BHS philosophy and who demonstrates excellent personal attainment, a commitment and application to her learning, and a high level of integrity. Ella truly demonstrates a commitment to learning. She has achieved excellent results and responsibility for learning marks due to her consistent and determined approach. In addition, she is a kind, bubbly, and joyful person who brightens up the room with her genuinely positive conduct. Ella willingly volunteers to help out with form and community endeavors and has served as the school as a middle school sports leader and currently as an eco club leader. Congratulations, Ella. And that is Mrs. Parker's special award. It is. Thank you.
This is the awards for the current Year 11, last year's Year 10. Abigail Adams, Spanish Prize for Commitment. Amber McGew, French Prize for Commitment. Amira Gilbert, Responsibility for Learning, Honors. Commitment Prize for Geography. Amelie Kemp, Responsibility for Learning. Annabelle Morgan, Responsibility for Learning, Honors. Bethany Coos, Principal Honors, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for Economics, Attainment Prizes for French and Physics, Vera Winter Prize for History Attainment. Eliana Kirkos, Principal Honors, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prizes for Drama and History, Attainment Prize for English, Mandy Wong Trophy for Business Studies Attainment. Ellie Manning, Honors, Attainment Prize for Computer Science. Gabrielle Tukiaro, Responsibility for Learning, Honors. Grace McFadden, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, Commitment Prize for Economics, Attainment Prize in Biology. Hannah Field Lament, Responsibility for Learning. Hannah Stockley, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for PE. Imani Bell, Responsibility for Learning. Jade Mallow, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for GCSE PE. Jasmine Douglas, Responsibility for Learning, Beryl Brown Cup for Commitment in Art, Commitment Prize for PE. Jolie Douglas, Marston Hurst Cup for Commitment to English. Caitlin Bernard, Responsibility for Learning. Kate Marcotte, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, Attainment Prizes for Chemistry, Maths, and Music. Liliana Hughes, Responsibility for Learning. Lily Corns, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, Commitment Prize for Biology, Tilson Cup for Geography Attainment, and Lily will also receive her certificate for a Grade 5 flute exam. Miley Deline, Responsibility for Learning, Honors, Jarena Monique Diana Smith Trophy for Drama Attainment, Kim Meacham Prize for Economics Attainment. Maya Maris, Responsibility for Learning, Turney Cup for Music Commitment. Olivia Porter, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honors, Commitment Prize for English Literature and Physics, Attainment Prize for Spanish. Saria Robertson, Responsibility for Learning. Sienna Minishkin, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for Maths, Attainment Prize for Art. Sophie Scrum, Responsibility for Learning, Honors. Vintage Lightborn Thomas, Responsibility for Learning. Willow Hartman Smith, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for Chemistry. The award to the student who gained the highest level of overall attainment in Year 10 is jointly awarded to Bethany Coos and Olivia Porter. These two students will also receive the Sarah Parson Scholarship for the extensive and impressive work as science leaders. That concludes our prizes for the current Year 11s, last year's Year 10s.
I'm proud to award last year's Year 11 students with the following awards. Anna Marcotte, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honours and Attainment Prize for Business and GCSE PE. Anya Podgates, Responsibility for Learning, Honours and the Ivy Sperling Cup for Music Attainment. Ava Adams, Responsibility for Learning. Ava Gibson, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honours, Commitment Prize for Latin and PE, the Esther Bluck McFarlane Prize for Geography Attainment, Mrs. Duncan Macbeth Prize for English Attainment, jointly awarded the Sandra Arnott Cup for Economics Attainment, and the Thatcher Trimming and Tucker Trophy for French Attainment. Katerina Garza, Responsibility for Learning. Cheyenne Tavares, Responsibility for Learning, Honours and the Commitment Prize for Business and GCSE PE. Christina de Kock, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honours, the Alistair Masters Smith Trophy for Drama Attainment, the Bauer Cup for History Attainment, the Henderson Shield for Spanish Attainment, the Sandra Arnott Cup for Economics Attainment, and the Attainment Prizes for Chemistry. Erin Kelly, Honours and Responsibility for Learning. Laura Hutman, Principal Honours, Responsibility for Learning, Commitment Prize for PE, the Attainment Prize for Physics, the Marsha Vieira Computer Science Prize for Attainment, Elise Trott Young Prize for Attainment in Mathematics. Marley Spriggs, Responsibility for Learning, Honours, Commitment Prize for Physics. Najee Rayna, Responsibility for Learning, Honours, and the Commitment Prize for Biology. Natalie Gazzard, Responsibility for Learning. Santasia Roy, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honours, the Mrs. Maureen Cooper Prize for Art Attainment. Sierra D'Souza, Responsibility for Learning, Honours, and the Commitment Prize for Chemistry, Drama, Music, and Spanish. Sydney DuPont, Responsibility for Learning, Principal Honours, Commitment Prizes for English, Geography, Maths, and Computer Science. Zanaya Khan, Responsibility for Learning, Honours. Zoe Gores, Responsibility for Learning, and the Commitment Prize for Art. We now move on to the special prizes for Year 11. Anna Marcotte is awarded the Rosemary Jones Trophy for high levels of attainment in both academics and in the sports arena. Christina de Kock collects the Wendy Tuxworth Prize for consistent academic excellence in English literature. Ava Gibson is presented with the Watlington Cup for music. This cup is awarded for achieving the highest result in the highest grade in the ABRSM exam. Ava passed her grade 8 violin with merit. In loving memory of our inspirational geography teacher, Mrs. Brendan Mattingly, each year an award is made to the top GCSE geography student who progresses into IB to study geography. This year we are delighted to award this to Laura Hutman. Laura is an incredibly talented geographer who has a natural ability and flair for geography. Her commitment and interest in her subject makes her a joy to teach, and we are delighted that she is continuing for the subject for IB. For the highest point score at GCSE, Millie Lewis and Emily Davis are awarded the Head of School Award for GCSE Achievement. Sydney DuPont receives the Kathy Mackenzie Plate for courtesy and integrity. Natalie Gazard and Katerina Garza jointly received the Elizabeth Vieira Cup for their level of application and progress in their learning. Our final award goes to Sierra D'Souza. Sierra will receive the BHS Alumni Association Centenarian Award. This award is given to the student who exemplify our BHS philosophy. Sierra has demonstrated a high level of personal attainment, a commitment and application to her learning, and has shown a very high level of integrity. She immediately offered to take on additional role of responsibility when more form prefects were needed at the start of the school year and did an exemplary job at it. She has always taken a keen interest in community service projects, and her quiet dedication to any tasks she is given has always been appreciated, both inside and outside of school.
So introducing last year's Year 12s. Ashley Morgan Atride Sterling has been awarded the Jean Masters Prize for Visual Arts for her special contribution to visual arts at BHS. The student who gained the highest level in overall attainment in Year 12 was Christy Sanchez.
The Shiloh Roberts Memorial Prize. Shiloh was a student who embraced school life and all the opportunities that were available to her. This award is given to the student who embodies the positive qualities of Shiloh's personality and work ethic. This prize also includes a monetary amount that can be used for anything within the school. We are delighted to present this award to Saleha Stand. Saleha has stepped up to help in so many areas of the Creative Arts Department. The list seems almost endless. She assisted Mr. Pittman in the musical aspects of this year's production. She helped create the ideas in the script, performed in this year's production, edited the film of the production, directed Year 10 students in Shakespeare monologues, helped run an IB coffee house, and the list goes on. Her passion shines through in her involvement, just as Shiloh's did.
It's great to be here again to celebrate some of the many aspects of your achievements. We are so proud of you all, and I ask that your parents take some time to discuss and reinforce all the positive aspects that your daughter has shown towards her learning. As teachers, we think it's really important to be explicit about the ways we have seen you engage in your learning. So in your envelopes, you will see what your teachers have written about how proactive and engaged you are in your learning. We often talk about pride at BHS. We have such pride in what you have achieved. We have pride in our older students of what they go on to achieve. And above all, we have pride in BHS itself and how it has guided you in your educational journey. I always love to hear from our alumni. They speak so passionately about BHS and how it's helped them in the skills to succeed. So my message to you today is, don't wait until you've left school to realise the opportunities that you have got here at BHS. It's okay to feel apprehension with your studies at times. The skills you learn by dealing with difficulties are the ones that will help set you aside, and they will help you be successful in life. BHS will help challenge you, but it will also help guide you and develop the skills that you need to succeed. All the research shows that by removing aspects of struggle is not beneficial, but it's important to learn how to deal with those struggles. BHS is well known within the international business market for helping to develop strong, resilient women who portray confidence and purpose. And this is reflected in the number of BHS women in prominent positions, both here and overseas. So don't wait to feel pride in yourself and your school. Look at what you are achieving now and feel that sense of real achievement and pride that we have in you and we have in our school.